Welcome to Inspiring Narratives, your favorite channel for uplifting stories, renewed hope, and cultivating a deeper connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Discover with me how turning to Allah can lead you to amazing changes in your life. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are back with another uplifting story that will, by the grace of Allah, strengthen your faith and renew your hope, inshallah. Let's start by sending peace and blessings on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Pour yourself a cup of something you love, get comfortable, and let's get started with our story. Today I have a beautiful story for you. I love today's story because it involves a simple person who truly feels and appreciates Allah's blessings. Unfortunately, we have become accustomed to blessings and sadly we take them for granted. The woman sharing today's story says, I got married in the smallest apartment you could imagine. When you entered through the front door, there was a narrow hallway, and at the end of that hallway was the bedroom. Next to it, there was a small room that I had turned into a kitchen. And next to that small room was the bathroom. She said all I ever dreamed of was to have a children's room because I had 2 boys and all 4 of us were sleeping in the bedroom together. It was really tough, more than you can imagine. When children grow up, they should have their own room. She continued, I used to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala day and night to grant me a children's room. We couldn't rent another place because we were spending half of my husband's salary on our expenses and the other half, we were saving the other half, trying to do something for ourselves and for our children. My sister-in-law lived in the apartment above us, and my mother-in-law's apartment, though small, was slightly bigger than ours. My sister-in-law and I would sleep upstairs while all the living took place downstairs at my mother-in-law's house. Even though her apartment was small too, it was slightly more spacious. I couldn't host anyone in my apartment. Where would I host them? In my bedroom? The only people I ever hosted were my mother or my sister, but otherwise I'd meet guests at my mother-in-law's house. And you know how uncomfortable it could be to host someone in someone else's house. The guests might feel awkward, and I'd feel like a burden on my mother-in-law because her place wasn't much bigger than ours. There was a balcony at my mother-in-law's house, and sometimes I would sit there with guests if they came unexpectedly. No matter the weather, even if it was raining, we'd sit there so the guests wouldn't stay too long and leave quickly. My only dream was to have a children's room. I prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala day and night, constantly asking for it, sending prayers upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and seeking forgiveness. But despite all of that, some people, instead of praying for you when they see you struggling, they'll make harsh comments. Some would say, why did you have more children when you're struggling like this? Why didn't you wait until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided you? How ignorant can people be? My sister-in-law upstairs was a bit more understanding because her husband worked abroad and only came back once a year. They had 3 children, so when he came home, they would send the children downstairs to sleep with my mother-in-law. They'd either sleep in her room or in the living room because it wasn't practical for them to all sleep together in the bedroom. And as the children grew older, things got even more difficult. I used to seek Allah's forgiveness constantly. I made it a daily obligation upon myself, like one of the obligatory prayers. I couldn't go to sleep without completing my daily seeking forgiveness. I would say, Astaghfirullah al-Azim wa atubu ilayh, 1,000 times a day. I also sent prayers upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam 10 times in the morning and 10 times in the evening, using the Salat al-Ibrahimiyya form. I kept doing this while I was at home or even when I was at my mother-in-law's house. I'd constantly pray, Oh Allah, expand our means and provide for us. I'd also often pray the night prayer asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with more. Then, she said, I experienced a huge surprise. And I felt that all this was a result of my dedication to dhikr. My brother-in-law called my husband and told him that he had bought an apartment elsewhere, because he had been living abroad for a while and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had blessed him with the means to do so. So he took his family and moved out, leaving their apartment upstairs. And guess what? I took that apartment and combined it with mine. I turned my sister-in-law's bedroom into my bedroom. I closed off her kitchen, turning it into the children's room. The bathroom upstairs stayed the same. As for the old apartment downstairs, I turned my bedroom into a living room, and the kitchen and the bathroom remained as they were. Now I had a place where I could host guests, and we had privacy for ourselves and the children, so we didn't have to spend 24 hours downstairs at my mother-in-law's house. I set up a TV in the living room and made it a cozy space. Now I had a proper apartment with a living room and a TV, and upstairs was our sleeping area. That was my lifelong dream, and Allah granted it to me, alhamdulillah. When it came true, I became even more encouraged to continue my dhikr. I would always thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I realized that if you sincerely want something from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and He grants it to you, you must thank Him. Allah says, if you are grateful, I will surely increase you. So when you thank Allah, He increases you in blessings. She added, never say it's because of my efforts or my hard work or my intelligence that I got this. Success and provision come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants you something, you must show gratitude because everything is in the hands of Allah. She continued, I was so happy. I finally had a new life. I suggested to my husband that I buy a sewing machine and start working in the living room of our apartment downstairs. I did, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened up more opportunities for me. The more I sought forgiveness, the more work came my way, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed us. My income from sewing was about a quarter of my husband's salary, and we used that to cover our household expenses while saving 3/4 of his salary. We kept this up for a long time, and I remained committed to seeking forgiveness and sending prayers upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then she said, the surprise came when my brother-in-law spoke to my husband and told him about a piece of land that was for sale next to the land my brother-in-law had bought. He suggested we buy it so we could be neighbours. My husband told him that the money we had saved wasn't enough. But my brother-in-law helped us out and we managed to buy the land. Now we own the land and we're slowly paying back my brother-in-law. Thanks to Allah and seeking forgiveness, I now have an apartment and a piece of land too. We're still repaying my brother-in-law, but I have full faith that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will continue to provide for us. I am hopeful that one day we will build our own house, a big one, and live comfortably, inshallah. She said, that's my story, how I went from dreaming of a children's room to owning land. And I have full trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I will eventually build a big, beautiful house on it. As long as you have faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believe me, Allah will surprise you with His blessings. Allah says, I am as my servant thinks of me. So always think positively about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Always trust that He will provide for you. If you desire something and don't get it, know that it's for the best. Trust that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has something better in store for you. Something better than you can ever imagine. One last important thing, every morning before you start your day, thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His blessings. Truly, we are surrounded by blessings that we often don't recognize. I swear to you that there are blessings around you that others would dream of having. As mentioned in the Quran again, if you are grateful, I will surely increase you in favor. A beautiful dua you can say after every prayer is, Allahumma inni ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husni abadatika. Oh Allah, help me to remember you, to be grateful to you, and to worship you in an excellent manner. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. This brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this story. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so do leave a comment below. I'll see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.